Welcome to the Gentleman's Talk, where the podcast talks about a man's battle with mental health, his personal experiences, and his journey to be a better soul. Hosted by James Dean Littlejohn.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Gentleman's Talk. I hope you're alright. I've got a bit of jazz on. It's quite a late evening for me. I've had a bit of a whirlwind of an evening. Not really an agenda to talk about, but just to talk about the mind, really. Just talk about how crazy I feel at the moment. You've been coming along for this journey now for hopefully the best part of, almost 6 months. I'm enjoying the process, learning on it all the time. More about myself, really, learning about myself, which is, what we all try to do. We try to discover ourselves, try to discover what makes us happy. And, I spoke yesterday, quite an in-depth podcast, really. And I was just talking about how, I'm feeling, a little bit, it's been a roller coaster, if I'm honest. Ups, downs, lefts, rights, round and round, finger in the bum, those sort of things. It's just been a bit crazy, I'm not going to lie. I've had some good times, I've had some bad times, I've had some difficult decisions, and this is all in the space of one day. So, today I felt frazzled, I'm not going to lie to you, and I don't know whether it's a mixture of the pain I'm in with my back. I spoke to my doctor, who's been down and I managed to get an emergency appointment. I am very lucky with my doctor, I have to say that, but managed to get an emergency appointment. And he suspects it's my C5 again. I've had a problem with my C5 for a long time due to the car crashes, and he suspects that there's two huge bulges that have appeared on my back on either side of the C5, which is making it feel, the way I described it to the doctor today was like it feels like there's a girder, and I mean by girder is the old school, body girders, that women used to wear to sort of suck everything in. It's like wearing one of those that have been tightened up by, fucking Thor himself. And it's just consuming, it's quite constricting, and I'm getting like really weak. It's really finding a struggle to lift my right hip flexor, and just a mixture of things, and it's been causing me a headache. Like, if you can imagine living with a level 6 dull headache all the time, that's on a good day. And at the moment, like, I actually feel the side of my neck, and it's tender, where the neck muscles from the whiplash, and this is the problem, it's weakened all my neck. I know I've got advanced degeneration in the neck, so I know that I'm going to get these problems, but I don't expect to get these problems at 40. To the point where it's quite crippling, and I don't know whether today is coupled with that pain. I've been quite ratty. I've tried to stay away from people. I've been not my normal self, just because of the pain, and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't want to take opiates. I'm dead against them. My doctor literally said, "Look, mate, I'll put your prescription through now for some painkiller opioids," and he put it like that in the text message, and as if to say, I won't just give you painkillers, which would be your standard. He was like, cocodamol. He was like, I'll give you some codeine, and I was like, mate, I know for a fucking fact that I'll sleep on those, because I've done it before, and I know that they're brilliant, and yes, you get a euphoric feeling from it, but I had a semi-addiction to those for years, because that's what I lived on for my pain. So I said to him, "Look, doctor, I'm working hard and day in, day out on my mental health. And, the last thing I want to do is revert back to being that zombie state. I'm already fighting the after effects or the side effects of antidepressants. There's absolutely no way I want to go back to that." So we had a long discussion. We had a quick meet, and he's referred me for a full physio scan. I don't know what that means. I assume it's basically a posh way of saying that someone's going to stand in front of me and look at my fucking posture, which, whatever. He's going to look at me and go, "You fucked." And I'll go, "Yeah, I know, mate. I've been trying to tell people that for years." And, "Oh, no, you mean the back." No, so I know the process. I've been down it several times. So, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll organise a CT scan or something for you." And so I'm on for a CT scan. I'm on for an X-ray, which will come, probably judging by the current waiting list for the NHS. We're talking, should get this resolved in about 2026 if I'm lucky. So I'm not being hopeful. So I've refused painkillers. I've refused, it's not refused, but and opted for the normal approach of waiting for the NHS to pick me up, and rightly so. There's people. This is a dull ache, but it doesn't stop me functioning. There's people ahead of me that are far, far more important, or up in the list than I am. So absolutely no problems at all with that. But at the same time, it's living with pain, and it's making me quite irritable. I'm getting very short fused, and it's only been 3 or 4 days. And I mean, I'm sat there now, and I remember last night I was in agony. So it might get to the point where I have no choice. Unfortunately, there's other methods that were used in other countries that we're not allowed to use in this country. So, we live and learn, don't we? Live by and crack on with that. So interesting, but that's made me a bit irritable, coupled with a few shitty little problems at work. Nothing major, just stuff getting dumped on your desk, lastminute.com to try and resolve and get an answer before the next day. The normal pressures, but hey, you get paid a wage for that, so you live and learn. But battled that quite a bit today, and then I made this massive fucking faux pas. Which actually, and I can hand on heart say, I actually, and I'm not playing it down on the other ones, but I actually was disappointed in myself. I was actually upset that I made this mistake. Now, I'd gone through my day, and then my dad texted me this afternoon and said, can you come over and help me move a shed? And I was like, yeah, no problems. That's how crazy my brain wasn't functioning. I was like, yeah. So I didn't think about I had a commitment after work. So I said, yeah, no worries. And then my mate rang me, Nelly, and I said I'd ring him back in 5 minutes, and I didn't in the afternoon because I went on to a meeting. Then I was sorting out my dog because my dog literally needed to go back down and I went to go and rush over to get more painkillers because I ran out because they didn't give me enough, and they were like, well, we thought it would last 10 days. The vet made a mistake, and I'm conscious I'm trying my hardest with my dog. So I rushed over there and then came back, and then literally that was later, and then went over to my dad's, quickly helped him, stayed chatting with him for 15 minutes, and then my other mate rang me, because I talk to him every day after work now, which is a really nice thing to do. Actually, it's quite it's good because you get to hear about that day, so it's almost like I do live there. So it's a nice little thing we've incorporated into our lives, and he done that actually, not me, which was really, really nice because we talk and we talk about each other's days and how's things going in life, and I suppose you miss that. We crave for it and we say let's do it, and yeah, he instigated it, which was really nice. So he went on and he rang me and I missed his call because I was dealing with my dad at the time, and I was like, oh fuck, and I got him back in the car, and I straight away along, my friend. Sorry, that probably seemed non-inclusive, didn't it? That was a bit embarrassing. I got caught in the moment. Wow, James, calm down. So I rang my friend back. I got in the car, rang my friend back, and I saw the eyes of my dad because he's looking sad. He probably wanted me to stay and have a beer and stuff like that, and I didn't really think about it because I didn't want to interrupt with their dinner, but I would have stayed for a beer. So he's like, I'll see you soon, and I was like, yeah, all right, because I know he's really busy and he's keeping himself up and stuff like that, keeping himself busy with my mum and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I got back in the car, phoned my friend, and I was in the car with him, and I was saying, how's your day and all this sort of stuff. Bearing in mind we were gaming later on anyway, so we didn't talk too much, but we just wanted to keep the routine going. And then I got into a car, and I was on a blind corner. Someone decided, whilst I was talking to my friend, and I was kind of frazzled, I was driving back home to go and get my dinner because it was late-ish now, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, and something was playing on my mind, but I didn't really know what it was. And then, so I spoke to my friend in the car, and then this guy was trying to overtake me on a blind corner, which really upset me again. I didn't really consume it. So he was like, I sped up a little bit, because I was like, mate, I'm doing 62 here in a 60 zone, and you're trying to overtake me on a blind corner look, please don't fucking do this. It's dangerous as fuck, mate. So I sped up so he automatically dropped. And that obviously pissed him off. So then he rode my fucking tail. And I mean, to the point where he was so close to me in the wing, in my mirror, I couldn't physically see his number plate in front of his bonnet. So I sort of slowed up a little bit, sped up a little bit, and then fucking let him know, don't do that to me. So places, I get crazy when it comes to driving anyway. So I was trying not to do it. And I try to be as calm and collective and driving as possible. Just get to my journey and get back. And I say calm and collective. There'll be people that will giggle because I don't do that. I get the fuck out of my way. But at the same time, I was conscious I was a bit frazzled. So I was like just analysing things, talking to my friend. And then, I got back and I was like, right, straight away, get my dinner. I fucking sat down and then like, I chatted to my mate Nelly and I was like, I'll give him the ring. I need to give him a ring and catch up with him for a full chat. And I thought, at least if I'm eating my dinner when I'm talking, I get the food in me, I calm down and I get to talk to my friend. So, and it was a very, very insightful conversation actually. And I got a lot out of it. And it felt nice to connect. Do you know what I mean? And that's amazing. That's the thing with talking. It just makes you feel amazing to connect. And I knew I'd hopefully helped him. That meant a lot to me. And I learned about him a little bit more. So, and also gave me the ability to just dive into my own knowledges and experiences and try and help him and support him as well. So, and it's really good. I'm sort of nurturing the right things around me, people talking, but I still got really frazzled anyway. As I was sat there and I was on the phone was to my right, my phone buzzed and up came a message. And I was meant to be joining this group. Really, really wanted to get involved in it. It was one of those things I'd organised, and I said, and this is a genuine mistake, I read the message saying, and it was quite blunt from him, but I get it, I know why he would have kept it blunt, because I've just let him down, and I didn't mean to, I genuinely didn't mean to. He sat there and he was like, James, where are you? I take it you're too busy, as if I'd like chinned him off, like purposely, and I can look back and as soon as I read the message, and I was like, and then I got a friend from my other mate who's kind of put me in touch with this group, and he said, Bill said you didn't turn up, and I was like, turn up? What are you on about, mate? I said he's just said something, but I just chatted to my mate, and because I saw his message, and I was like, I'll reply to him because I didn't really acknowledge the other Bill's message. So I replied to him saying to see what he said, because I saw what he said, which didn't give me an insight into. Sorry, it kind of gave me an insight into, what I was going to receive from Bill. And he said, "Oh, you didn't turn up." So I said, "Oh, hold on a minute," and I just jumped across and I saw it. It was like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean, where am I? I was supposed to see you on Monday." And I went back to my other mate, Billy, so we'll call him Bill and Billy, and I said to him, "I'm just apologising now, mate." He said, you should have turned up. And I said, so I went back to Bill, and I went, "I'm sure you said Monday." And he went, "James, it is Monday." And I was like, "No, Monday the 28th. He's like, "There isn't even a 28th on a Monday in this month." And I looked up and I saw the messages up, and it literally said the 23rd Monday. And I turned around and was like, shit, I've seen that as an 8. I thought he meant next Monday because I spoke to him over the weekend. And I felt embarrassed. I felt fucking devastated that I'd let this guy down. So I went on, and of course I'm telling the truth, which is about my dog, and fucking, I sat there and I was like, I kind of got the impression, I said, because of the way he was responding, before we'd had quite long conversations, and it was very well presented and articulated, nice, but these messages now he replied to me saying, "It is Monday," no full stop or anything, just "it is Monday," and then he put down, "Don't worry, we'll sort it another time." And I was like, oh, fuck, I really, really fucking pissed this guy off. And I was like, and I didn't mean to. And I went back to Billy and I was like, dude, fuck. I was like, and I just said, I had to pick up, I had to sort my dog out. And then I just completely fucking slipped my mind. And there was other factors in there, but I didn't really want to explain those factors. And I was also I was in a world of anxiety, because I was like, I've fucking constantly, well, not constantly, but the last 3 or 4 times I've chinned my mate Billy off, not chinned him off, but not like turned up late. I've like turned up late, or there's always been some sort of factor that I've used, and then I like said in my podcast yesterday, I didn't go to his fucking leaving do, and I felt awful about that. And now I've just done this. I was like, fucking hell, James, you are a state. And I was like, am I not functioning right? Is there something wrong? And this is where I was like, so I went back to Bill and I was like, dude, I am so fucking sorry, mate. I genuinely didn't mean this. And I know that you can look at it and you can interpret this in the way you want. And I have, okay, there have been times, like I said to you, I do battle with going to these things, but I'd instigated this, this joining of the meeting. So I did instigate it. I was given the comms, and I sort of instigated it in the sense that I wanted to do it. So for me, it was like, I didn't want to chin this off. And that's why I said it for next Monday, because I thought, fucking brilliant. And I've got the whole of next week off as well. So I was like, for me, it works out fucking perfect. I have a nice, easy fucking chill out day, turn up, have a beer, meet some people. So I genuinely had it all in my head planned out like that. And then when he said to me, you didn't fucking turn up, I was like, oh, fuck. I'm genuinely fucking sorry, mate. And then I tried to explain. I was like, look, mate, as best I could. And then, he got a reply saying he's, I'm a dog man. I know how it feels. And I was like, no, I genuinely know you're a little bit disappointed that I've done this, because you've gone to the effort of turning up and meeting these new people. And I know you've done this, and I appreciate you've done this. And I've actually let you down, but not through carelessness, not through purposeness, just a genuine human error. Like I said, I'd taken next week off. I had it all planned in my head. I even said to fucking Billy, who I spoke to about joining this group, I said, look, mate. I said, yeah, I'm going to see your mate on Monday, and I said next Monday, and this was on the Sunday, so he must have thought I meant Monday, rah rah rah, and I completely batshit crazy forgot. I was like, fucking hell, you dickhead. So, and now I'm in this fucking mind now, like, where I'm sat here and it's fully, I understand we all go through this fucking crazy shit at the best of times. But it's not like me. I'm very organised. And I'm like, this is how much I think the pain is consuming me, that it's fucking like just causing me so much agony that even the basics, because I'm so high functioning in terms of like work and all that sort of stuff, I think that consumes me so much that I haven't got the capacity to deal with that and pain and the little tiny trivial things. I've even said to my family and fucking wife now, it's like, just avoid me. Avoid me until I get this sorted, because I am a twat. And that's the only way I can articulate it. I'm a twat. I'm being a knob. I know I'm being a knob. I can't help being a knob. I'm making fucking careless mistakes. My back's in agony. I'm doubting myself. I'm questioning my own abilities now. So I'm sat there going, just fucking leave me alone while I try and process this. And even then, now I'm sort of like, afterwards, I was sat there when I'd made that mistake, and I was like, I'm going to go and have a shower. And then in the shower, I'm writing to this guy. Then I'm writing to this guy, thinking, fuck up, mate. Sorry, I'm getting loads of stupid messages from people bugging me. So I'm battling all this, and then I'm sat in the shower where I'm like trying to sort of sort myself out. I'm like trying to like warm up my back to try and loosen the muscles up, because like I say, I've got agony in my shoulders where I'm holding my tenseness. I'm like, literally, my neck muscles now are in agony. Right down to my, the side of the neck, right into it, and everything, even my legs ache, and I don't know why. I think it's because I'm struggling to pick them up normally, and I'm just not functioning correctly. So I was sat there thinking, fuck, I'm just gonna have to email him. I'm just gonna have to message him, because I feel the dick. I'm gonna go, look, mate, I'm sorry, but I don't want to let you down again. This isn't me avoiding it. This is just me going, like, I've got fucking loads of shit with the family. I've got loads of shit with the dog. Work's not the best at the moment, and a little bit low morale across the team, but that's hopefully getting sorted out. And I'm dealing with my own back pain, getting over coronavirus, and I'm just like, mate, this is just consuming me, massively consuming me, and it's such a small thing that should be enjoyable, that I'm like, I don't want to let you down again. And then I don't want to get to the point where if there's the first meeting, for instance, at this new club, and I go across and I go, no, I can't go. I don't want to be that fucking day one twat. So I'm going to have to do it that way and be polite about it, because I don't want to be that dick. I'm trying to not be that dick. It's bad enough. I feel bad enough as it is letting down fucking friends without letting down people that I don't really know, that I'm asking to, give me their time. So I've been fucking battling that shit. It's crazy, crazy stuff. So I did all that, and then, like I say, I got it sort of, it's sort of caveated nicely with regards to talking to my friend Nelly. We had a really good chat, actually, and I've been meaning to talk to him for a while, and I know he's been wanting to reach out, and I didn't sort of kind of give him, I didn't give him the value time that he deserved. So, but that's why I made that conscious effort tonight, and we had a really good chat, actually. And what I said on the back of the chat was, I'm off next week, and he's got half term anyway because of the employment he's in. So I was like, fucking brilliant, mate. Let's meet up. Let's go for spend the day down the beach. I'll pick the best day out next week, and we'll just go for a really long walk. Make sure we get like a good 6 or 7 miler in to lose a bit of weight, feel good about ourselves, and just basically chew the fat. Have a good time. And I felt that meant a lot, and it meant a lot to me because I know I'll get value out of it. So. Yeah, that's a really good something to look forward to next week. Like I said, I had a sort of next week off, so I wasn't really. There's nothing planned because everyone in my family is still working, etc. But it's ideal for me, an ideal opportunity for me to take a break from work and just reset, just go and use the week to go and do some bits and bobs, get the drone out and have a little play on that or whatever. So yeah, there's plenty I'm looking at doing already. So. Hopefully that will really sort of alleviate the pressures that are currently making me a bit scatty. And it's not like me. This is a new feeling, and I think it's because I'm sort of, I don't know. I think it's because I'm kind of getting a bit more involved with people, and I'm doing a bit more. So it's kind of like, just need to bring the balance back in a little bit. Next week will be a good one. And the thing is, I feel like I've already had a week off because I had a week off with coronavirus. But again, I was written off for the best part of almost 2 weeks. So, it's not like you have time off because I was sleeping, resting, feeling like shit, not eating properly. So this would be a good time to actually go and do some stuff. And I'm going to get the camera out as well. So I'm going to really break into some creativity during that week to try and sort of just, perk me up a little bit, just kind of give me that little bit of inspiration. But yeah, hold on, I'm just going to take a sip of my fine English tea. Oh, that's delightful. Gin and tea. What better British combination? A fucking bourbon biscuit will go down a treat. But I'm a fatty, so I'm not going to do a bourbon biscuit at all. Anyway. So it's been a bit of a crazy one, and that's literally today. Jesus fucking Christ, what is mental health about? It's crazy shit, isn't it? But I got a lot out of talking to my mate Nelly, and, I'm a bit concerned about my brother, and I don't know whether he's going to listen to this, but he still hasn't replied to 2 of my messages now. So I don't know. I'm going to have to give him a call, I think, and see how he's getting on, because that's unusual. But anyway, mental health, it's crazy. So sort of battling things all the time. And like I said, yesterday's podcast was talking about, the journey and how we constantly battle these things. And like you said, you forget. And then I seem to get sprung with this extra little bit that I'm not used to, because it's a journey. It's something we're learning all the time. So we're learning about the new ways to deal with it, and we're learning about new ways to develop ourselves and what works, what doesn't work. Does that work? Did I enjoy that walk? Did I enjoy going to see that person? And for me, it's kind of like that is the learning process, but that's because I've made that decision to better myself. So I've looked at myself and gone, I don't like this. And that's where we talk about the foundations of making changes, is making sure you look inwards. And so I look inwards and I didn't like this person. So I, clicked the fingers and went, how can I change? What do I do? And I tried loads of different things, and like I said, I tried YouTube as well, doing YouTube videos. Wasn't really my bag, but that was highlighted actually today, talking to my mate Nelly, who's literally seen every single one of my YouTube videos. He saw every single one. He's listened to every single podcast and been there for every single live. So, true friend, true fan, just, you know what I mean? And we spoke about that tonight, and it was nice that I said to him, I'm on this journey and I'm trying to better my life and I'm trying to help people, and just listening to the way that he is. And it's ironic because he's got this little pattern, and I don't know, I'm good at picking up patterns, and I noticed that his pattern is quite in his mental health. And bearing in mind, we've only really spoke since January, really properly, and already I've figured his pattern out just because we talk every day. So in a nice way, it was really easy for me to offer advice, because I saw the pattern in what he was doing, and I went, he's been constantly thinking about, not constantly, he's been messaging, and we've been missing each other's calls. So I was like, there must be something up here. And I reflect back, and we were having a conversation, and like I said, it was about 45 minutes long, and I said, like, this is about my journey as well, you see. So I was like, I've noticed this pattern, I've noticed how you are. And he was talking about what was wrong. He said he's fine in his head right now, but he went into his details. And I was like, no, that's fab. Just as long as you're okay in your head, that makes me feel comfortable, makes me feel happy. And now how can I support you? What can I do to make it better for you? Even if it's just fucking listening, And it did. I don't listen very often, because I do listen, actually. I listen all the time, but I always have an opinion, and I always try to get the best out of somebody. It's just it's a burden for me, I think, because I constantly want to get the better out of these people. And I look at them and I learn them and I analyze a person. And like I said, within 5-6 months, I've already, and this isn't in a negative way, but I've already figured him out in the sense that I know confidently that actually I can offer him the right support, and I know when he's going to need that support because of how we are. And to show you the pattern, is he gets to a certain point in his career each year where he battles with not being able to do that job for a little while. So you can see that because he's so dedicated and so committed to his job that he wants to keep it going. I want to keep it going, and he's also balancing that with wanting change as well, because he's been doing this job a long time, and he's thinking to himself, I'm 43, I want to change. And I offered him a load of advice today on just how I would have approached it. I was like, he's got quite a while left before he has to really make any sort of drastic decisions if he wants to. And I was like, well, when do you need to, what's the deadline? He's like, there isn't a deadline, buddy. I was like, right, well, put it to bed for now then, mate. Put it to bed. If it's stressing you out and you don't need to make a decision. Excuse me, the tea is beautiful. Sorry. It's the British in me. I went a bit crazy there with that one. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick sip of the tea. Bear with me. Oh, that's good British tea. Oh, lovely. So, yeah, I could see where he's coming from. And, I offered him advice.
I'm not sure.
Oh, hello, Siri. You aren't sure about that. You sneaking on me, stalker. He. As I said, yeah. So I offered him some advice, and I said, this is how I'd approach this, and do this, and do this, but put that to bed for right now. You don't need to worry about it. There's no decisions that needs to be made immediately that's going to affect you financially or emotionally. So just enjoy yourself, man. Just fucking put it to bed, and then when you need to, set a date for it and go, okay, I need to look at it in 8 weeks. And that's what we come to the conclusion from our discussion, that he said, I'll look at it in 8 weeks or sort of a day before the event is required. And I went, okay, then do that, and then enjoy the next 8 weeks without sitting there and stressing. And then he was like, yeah, but people keep talking about it and talking about other stuff. And I was like, well, just take yourself out of the scenario, mate. Take yourself out of that situation. There's no real reason why you need to stay there. If they're talking about that and that's not a part of the conversation you want to be engaged in, then just leave. And you don't need to endure all that stress and that weight that you're currently putting on yourself, because you can alleviate it. You can mitigate it straight away by walking away from the situation. And I do that as a job. I look at risk and I eliminate the risk. And that's exactly put that into practice, into play from your normal day. So put it into practice, put it into play for your normal day, eh? That was interesting. Oh, hello. Sorry, my thing's gone a bit wayward. It's a bit crazy. Sorry, my little stand just fell there. Bear with me. There we go. Sorry. So, yeah, easy. It was an easy scenario to fix. But then I don't think it was just about that. I think it was also about the fact that we got to talk, which was great. You know, we had a good conversation. And it is important to talk, and out of that I get to spend a day with him, and you know, we're constantly, that's what it's about, life, isn't it? It's constantly making effort for people, and if you don't make an effort, then there isn't any point, is there? So we've got a lot out of this, and I tell you what, I just need to chuck a little interesting scenario with actually. This was interesting, and I didn't talk about it on the podcast yesterday. It wasn't really prevalent, but it was more about change and just showing you. I'm more impressed actually with how I dealt with the situation. So, and this just goes to show how far I'm trying to come on and how I'm trying every day. You know, there's ups and downs, like literally like a roller coaster. And I think that the more you listen to this podcast, the more you understand that I'm just an ordinary guy that is going through this all the time, and I just happen to be talking about it. But 9 times out of 10, there'll be other men. In fact, probably even 10 times out of 10, I've been confident with that stat. You know, that most people around this sort of mid-age, you know, sort of, not even mid-age really, but around your sort of 30s to 40s are all, this is why the statistics, that's just me rewinding. Statistically, the stats are quite high because we do put these pressures on ourselves. And, you know, we're all constantly fighting these battles, and we forget, and we bottle, and then we, you know, we explode, and it's just not fucking good. It's just an awful way of dealing with it, but that's how men deal with it. It's horrible. So, but I noticed that when I talk, and one of the things I've developed, and this is a little kind of, it's one of those good stories, you know, chuck an injection of a good story in, just to show you, you know, give you a bit of hope that there is always a chance. Despite my battles that I face daily, and I mean, fucking, like I said to you at the start, it's written in my fucking podcast thing, my daily battles, because it is daily battles. Mental health just doesn't go away with the click of a finger. You've developed these coping mechanisms that have been instilled in the prime time of your life, so you're going to get to an age where it's going to be really difficult, but you constantly work, and that's the way it works. Works. So my daughter, actually, so I came home, and she's got this little hoverboard thing, and you know, you just like, it's a hoverboard, you stand and you move forward, tilt forward to go forward and tilt back to go back, and like a little tank track, you know, you go forward and back on either opposites and they turn. So I won't bore you with the details because I just did. Anyway, she wanted at Christmas, she wanted like a strap-on go-kart. You know what I mean? And that's not an innuendo, for fuck's sake. She wanted a fucking strap-on go-kart. You strap it to the hoverboard with a seat on it and a little tiny couple of like trolley wheels at the fucking front. And I was like, okay, all right. It looks pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool. So anyway, we bought it, or she bought it out of her money. She saved up for it, and chucked this on, and we had a little go on the carpet when we first got it. This was like a couple of months ago, and it's fucking brilliant. It was actually really fun. Bit creaky because I'm a bit rotund, a bit robust, so it's not designed for fat men basically. And but I had a go, you know, I gave it a shotty, and then my daughter went on, she fucking buzzed around like, and I was like, this is fucking brilliant. Anyway, so just to put you a little bit of context into the story, and I came home on Sunday after going out playing golf, and my wife was out, and she was in on her own. So again, I'm trying to give you a bit of a picture. So she's at home, I've walked into the kitchen, I've seen, you know, the go-kart on the floor, and I've seen the boot sale stuff completed, and I was just talking to my daughter, and then, you know, I just happened to go to I was like, I'll go and get a cold drink, because I'm going to go to the fridge, and as I walked over to the fridge, I looked down at the floor on the lino, and there was this fucking skid mark, like, of rubber, about 12 inches fucking long with like a bore mark in the middle. And I was like, fucking hell is that? What the fuck is that? Looked down, touched it, and I was like, fucking hell, there's a hole in my fucking lino. And I was like, okay, it didn't take a fucking mathematician to fucking understand that she sat on her cart, she's put it in the kitchen, she's fucking ragged up the power and wheel spun on my fucking lino, spinning it up. Not only has she fucking spun it up and damaged the fucking lino, she left fucking skid marks, mate, where she'd heated the rubber up that much, Fast and fucking Furioused it round my kitchen. So there's an element of me that was impressed. You know, I'm impressed. She's just fucking pulled a fucking wheel spin darky on my fucking lino. Anyway, and then obviously the father of me kicks in, and then the wallet of me kicks in and thinks, this is a hole in my lino, and this is going to cost me £500 to £600. So then I start getting a little bit like, this is normally where I'd go fucking ballistic, and I have done. And I looked at my daughter, and this is where, even if I was boiling, and I probably would be, I'd remain calm and go as best as I could, but I could feel it. You know, the switch. If you've ever held, you must have all done this, held a light switch in the middle. You know, so it's not on, it's not off, it's right in the middle, and it goes like you're literally trying to fucking cause a spark in the back of your fucking cavity wall that's then going to set your house on fire. Well, you know, I've fucking done it, and I'd probably still do it as an adult, even though I know that now. I know I wouldn't do that; I'd be fucking stupid, but I did it. So you know, you sit there and you're fucking trying to. Anyway, it's like that. So. Anyway, so I walked in, and that's like me. That's like my reaction. So that's normally where I am, ready to fucking click, and then I go like the fucking guy out of that cartoon with the fucking hothead. You know, there's a cartoon. Someone will tell me tomorrow. There's all the different characters for happy, sad, and there's angry man. I am that fucking angry man. I have that as a little fungo fucking poppy thing, whatever it is, pop art. Getting old, fuck, I don't even know what they're called, mate, anymore. Vinyl pop. Pop vinyl. There it is. Pop vinyl, pop, 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 pop. Anyway, that's like me, Mr. Angry. So that's where I get to. And then I said to her, but it's no, I don't normally get there till I ask the question and then depend on the answer. But I already knew that my fucking daughter was on her own. You know, she was in the house. There's nobody else there. There's a cart on the floor. It's her fucking cart. It doesn't take a mathematician, like I said. I don't need to be fucking Sherlock Holmes to fucking, or Inspector Clouseau to come round and establish what's happened. And even you can look at the tread pattern that's left at the bit where the rubber started to grip and she fucking ripped. You can even see the grip pattern is the same as the grip pattern that's on the fucking tyre. So I was like, well, okay. So I said to her, oh, darling, what happened here? She just looked at me blatantly and went, I don't know, Daddy. And I was like, oh, you don't know, do you not? I was like, are you sure you don't know? I said, this looks familiar. This kind of looks like someone's done, a fucking burnout on my lino. As I said, I looked at her and she was like, no, I don't know. I've just come in. This wasn't me. I was like, oh, you've just come in. Well, fucking hell. I must have done this. I must have done this morning in my sleep. I think I must have slipped on something and the rubber from the bottom of my fucking flip-flop must have spun up a doozy. I was like, fucking hell. So I looked at her and I went, right, dear. And this is where I would have normally boiled over. This is where I know the progression factor is working. And I sat there and I went, oh, fucking hell, all right, darling. I don't know how to say this, but you're fucking lying, mate. And she was like, what? I was like, you're lying. I said, because... And then I gave her the conclusion of my investigation. And, rightly so, I looked at her, I said, can you just please tell me the truth? I said, was it you? She even said, I think so. I was like, okay, I'll take that as a yes. So again, I did say, and I said to her, so you've done a boot sale today, darling? Yes. And she was like, £72 you've earned today. I was like, well, that's £500, so you're now in debt. And she just couldn't believe it. And I was like, well, that's life, sweetheart. So, I kind of I just went down the educational route. I didn't get angry. I just fucking went, okay, well, I'll have to come up with something. And I have come up with a plan. I'm very artistically minded, so I know what I'm going to do already, and it's going to look quite cool, modern anyway. So I've done a little like a drawing on my iPad with how it'd look, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that, because all you do is take a photo, impose it onto Procreate, and then do what you need to do. It's fucking brilliant. And I created the floor as I wanted it, so I know what I'm doing. So I'd already done that, but I'm not going to ever tell her that. Fucking hell, I don't want to make it seem like it's too easy that you can fucking screw my house up and then I turn it into something magical. Anyway, so dealt with that, and then my wife came through the door and she was like, "Oh," I said, "Oh, did you see the skid mark?" After I'd already tried to clean it up with alcohol wipes and fucking scrape the rubber, literally scrape the fucking rubber off of the fucking vinyl. And there was it left a big hole about fucking 2 inches long, but all the way down to the concrete. I was impressed, like I said, I was impressed. And I showed her and she was like, "Oh, that's not what I thought, Adele." And then she was like, stood there and I was like, she was like, "Yeah, I didn't think that was the problem." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, no, that is the problem, dear." That is the problem. But we've educated ourselves. And anyway, so then my wife turned around and goes, "Let me have a look at, let me just show you the messages." And the messages from my daughter were, and this is where the sad bit come in a little bit, if I'm brutally honest, because she said, she was putting in, "I'm stressed. I don't want to upset Daddy. I want, how can we sort this? It's really bad. You're not answering me." She was like proper stressed. So that's why I sat her down and went, "Look, did I get angry?" And she was like, "No." I said, "What did I do?" And she was like, "Well, you didn't get angry." And I was like, "No, there's no point in getting angry." I said, "Okay, old James, yes, I was a fucking idiot, but I'm working on myself." I said, "All I ask you to do is to make sensible decisions. And I don't think that was a sensible decision by, going on your fucking electric fucking go-kart in the house." But then I said, "Would I have done it as a child?" "Yes, I would. So I'm not going to bollock you, because I would have done exactly the same. I would have done the same as a fucking fully grown adult, mate. So I'm not going to bollock you. It's a mistake. But what can we do from this?" I just said, "Can we learn from it going forward? We'll learn from the fact that we don't do that now." So it's a learning case. It's a learning day, isn't it? And she looked at me as if like it was astounded. To the point where I was like, "Look, you can't lie to me. I know when you're lying." And she did this thing. She said, I said, "I know when all you kids are lying." And she went, "What, are you a stalker?" And I was like, "Well, that's a bit aggressive, considering you've just fucked up my lino." That's what I said to her. I said, "But we'll take it." I said, "No, not a stalker. I just said I know how to read people." And I said, "I know when you're lying. And I also know attention to detail, so I know exactly how things happen. That's why I'm in health and safety, because I look where people don't fucking want me to look." So I was like, I'd already come to the conclusion that what had caused it. It's not a problem. You're the lightest person in the house, so you're the most obvious person that's going to get no traction from a fucking go-kart. I said, "However, I'm quite robust, so if I'm not going to move." So I said to her, that's how I came to the conclusion that it was you 110%. So I was like, it doesn't take a mathematician or a brain scientist to do it. But at the same time, I picked out the details and explained them to her. So it was interesting, though, how I dealt with that, and also gave me the opportunity to show my daughter that I am changing. I'm making massive efforts. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I don't claim to be perfect. I know I'm far from perfect. And I know I've got my own issues and I've got my own problems that I try to deal with. And I don't think a lot of them will go away. But at the same time, there's nothing we can do. We just have to deal with the problems as they arise. Instead of, I can't plan forward. Do you know what I mean? I can't change the past, so let's live in the moment and just enjoy the moment. And if we make a mistake, we try and unpick it and rectify it. It's no, providing you don't fucking kill someone, or do any criminal damage or anything criminal, break any criminal laws, then it can be rectified. And that's really important. And I try to have that ethos now, and it's trying to instill, while my daughters are still young, that I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be, but I'm going to show you that I'm willing to make the change. I'm trying myself now. This isn't me waiting for a doctor. This isn't me waiting for a miracle pill. This isn't me waiting for a fucking miracle cure. This is me just going, fucking take hold of my life, mate. And if I don't know something, learn it. You know, if I haven't been somewhere, go there. If I haven't tried something, try it. You know, this is just me taking hold of my life and going, it is what it is. And even when people have invited me to things and I've not gone, then I've got to the point where I've learnt from that, because I've gone like, don't say yes next time because you're not going to go. So just be honest with people and just say, no, it's a fucking awkward situation for me. I'm not really into that, mate. That's not my fucking scene anymore. You know, I'm not fucking 18, you know. But at the same time, you still can try it. You can still go somewhere. And it all depends on the group. We're learning with who we're with and how we're presenting to other people. You might be having a difficult fucking week. Everybody goes through something. Everybody has these issues, these problems, and but we just hit the road, and we do what we can to move forward. You know, we do what we can to move forward. And like I said to Nelly this afternoon, and a little phrase I'll finish on is, you know, if you're climbing the steps but you can only see the first step in front of you, then, you know, concentrate on that one step until you can start seeing more steps. You know, you start removing the fog. I've said this before in my podcasts. Just take your time. You know, it's really important to look after yourself. And sometimes we can take 2 steps forward, and sometimes those 2 steps forward turn into 4 steps back. It's inevitable. That is life. You get chucked curveballs all the time. You might move into a new job and think it's the best thing, and it transpires it's not. You might get into a new relationship and transpire you wish you hadn't got into a new relationship. You know, you might go and see somebody and, you know, not go to an event and actually feel like you've missed out massively for not going to that event. That's a curveball. You didn't expect that to happen. You missed out or whatever. You didn't expect the relationship to fail or whatever. Or there's loads of things. We all deal with these problems all the time. But like I said, we can't deal with these things alone. And, you know, I'm going through my own roller coaster of a journey. And to be perfectly honest, the only thing that's keeping me relatively sane, because today I've gone through a field of emotions, from letting this guy down, letting my other mate down who's organised this and wants me to get involved in it. I've let him down again, you know, missing out on phone calls, just general little bit of scattiness, you know, and I just don't want to be that guy. You know, I don't want to be that person. So I've just got to reset and it's constantly adjusting all the time. It's constantly evolving, you know, and it takes the true person, the true friend, the true family member at the end of the day to say, it doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't matter. I'm not bothered, you know, as long as you're okay. If there's nothing I can do, if there is something I'd do, let me know and I'll fucking do it. That's all you can say. You know, you can't offer people miracle cures. You can't offer them miracle advice. You can offer them your journey. You can offer advice from your journey that might work for their journey. There's probably plenty of things I've spoke about in this podcast. And, you know, you'll take it or you won't, you know. It's up to you. I've got my own journey to talk about because this is a platform I love. I love trying to help people. It's somewhere I'd love to be. It's somewhere I'd love to do permanently. I'd love to sit there and just basically, it's almost like being a life coach. To be a life coach would be absolutely incredible. Look at where people are failing. Go to their workplaces and understand what they deal with and try and find ways to make them alleviate their pressures. It's just a journey. It's just something I've always been in because it involves so much. It involves life. It involves mental health, well-being, trying new things. It involves a multitude of things. And, you know, I'm very skilled in a wide range of areas. So for me, it's an enjoyable experience. But you never know what the life will chuck at you. And you never know whether it's, you know, we don't know what's around the corner, do we? But like I said, it's a journey. And, you know, I'm here to learn. And I hope you're here to enjoy the journey with me. So anyway, thank you very much for listening tonight. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be the big podcast. It's going to be quite a detailed one. So I look forward to presenting on that one, actually. So, take care, and I must get myself to try and go to sleep. Have a good evening, and take care. Or whatever time you're listening to it, enjoy the rest of the time of the day. Take care.